Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is a join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that. Well, over the years, the question that has lingered in the general public has been the reason why the P Square had broken off for a couple of years. So rumors started spreading to say, no, one of the brothers was underappreciated. No, it's an issue of money. No, one of the brothers was being asked to divorce his wife because she did not get along with others. Just rumors and everything. So no proper context was ever shared to the public until the last 48 hours. So finally, as fans, they've got the full context of the story of what happened. Because none of the brothers had ever shared what was happening with the public. People had tried to intervene. I remember at some point they met with Dangote, the richest man, the black man. As of the time of this broadcast, I know a number of celebrities within Nigeria tried to intervene also, try to get into try to resolve the wrangles that were happening amongst brothers, but nothing was shared to the public until this interview. So in this interview, Rude Boy of P Square broke his silence indeed on Peter and the EFCC and a number of things that were happening in the family. And he's never really given public interview with regard to what was happening in the family. Neither has the other brother said anything. It's just been lingering. Like people just make assumptions and stuff. But in this particular interview, he did not hold back. He gave all the gist that people needed to know. He addressed the issue of him being the songwriter and the other brother just being the dancer, and he went in. So the brother was like, hey, I mean, it seems we're addressing the issues in public, we might as well address everything. And the big brother Jude has been mentioned in this issue. You get the context why. So he was their manager from the time of P Square, and other family members are involved. So finally, Peter decided to respond. So the one that did the video interview was Paul, the one that we know as Rude Boy. So Peter wrote a letter to him, and he tried to address a number of issues that were going on in the media, and that interview in particular. So he goes like, dear brother Paul, just like I have told you several times, I am not in any competition with you or anybody else. However, seeing the countless interviews where you constantly discredit my efforts in our group that we both created and built together really speaks volumes. In your recent interviews, you claim that you wrote and sang 99% of all P Square songs, and discredited me by saying that our song that we did with T.I. that you mentioned in that particular interview was a failure by any standards, and used the statistics on how it was, the views on YouTube, used them as the yardstick of measuring its failure. You went as far as using YouTube views to discredit me once again. And then he goes, you never acknowledged the other songs like Get Squared, The Busybody, Personally, Wrote It, Temptation, Aringo, and More Than a Friend, Shaking, and Say Your Love, Give Me That. And he mentions a number of songs that say, and a few others where those songs are considered failures as well. So he mentions, I mean, how do you just pick one song and leave out the other songs that they have written and performed? Do you consider them as failures as well? So pretty much in this letter, he addresses that element of him being a songwriter and also contributing to the writing of the music that they wrote together, or the hits that we know them for. And Rude Boy has not responded to that particular one. He's focused on he's doing his promo. He's got a single out, so it's just like lights, camera, action, and then it's vitamin something. There's a song that he's promoting there, and the number of he says he's going to release either an EP or an album later on. So he's focused on that element, and then. One thing that is going to come out in this particular next section of Peter's letter is the EFCC. So for those of us in other countries that do not know what EFCC stands for, so it's the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. So it's a Nigerian body. So that's the one that if wherever you hear EFCC mentioned in the next segment of Peter's letter to his brother or articles that is publishing out, that's what it stands for. I just wanted to build that context there. So, and then in the previous letter, he said, now I'm going to address, I never attempted or tried to use EFCC to arrest my twin brother, Paul. He mentions there. This is still Peter. So this is the second part of the letter, which he says he needed to address this. So before I tell you the whole story, here is what you need to all understand. It says, it is always surprising to me when people say P-Square is always bringing their family matters into public eye. Let me clarify this. P-Square is not just family, it's a public brand, and Peter and Paul, Jude, Anita, and Ifoma, and Laura, and the rest of our family members are family. But P-Square is an entity and belongs to the public as much as it does belong to us. Our fans have played a significant role in our success, and there's need for a significant role in our success, so they have the right to know what's happening with their beloved brand P-Square. That is why it's understandable when certain aspects of our lives are shared publicly. So he put up that disclaimer to say why people that are putting out their family business out there. He says, hey, if you look at P-Square itself as a business, it was run by family members, but in as much as they're family members, it is still a public brand. And you can see how many people are tuned into this particular issue. That goes to show that, yes, people have been interested in them. So now he went further to clarify the issue with the EFCC and suing his brother or taking his brother there. Now, let's get straight to the point. I want to make it clear I never reported my twin brother Paul to the EFCC. And I know many of you were disappointed when Paul accused me of doing so. He mentioned that I wrote a petition against him, which he claimed made the EFCC to ask him and provide surety. This statement suggested that he was detained, which is not true. So he goes further to say, Peter and Paul and Jude own a management company together called Northside Entertainment, which we use to manage all the P-Square affairs. One day, I discovered another company which is with a similar name, but this one was called Northside Music instead of Northside Entertainment. This surprised me, and I discovered that I decided to investigate further, and guess what? To my shock, the founders and directors of this secret company were none other than Jude Okoye and his wife, Ifeoma Okoye. And the registered address was the family home of Judy's wife. So he goes further to say, still in my shock, I knew I had to talk to Paul about it. I approached him multiple times, at least 4 different times, asking him if he knew anything about the secret company and the whereabouts of some of the P-Square royalties. Each time I met with him, he decided not knowing anything about it. I want to set the record straight and hereby challenge Paul or anyone else to show any petition that I, Peter Okoye, ever submitted against against my twin brother Paul, or that of Paul's name on it. So he says, I never sued my brother or reported him. So he discredits Paul's allegation where he had said no, he had reported him to the EFCC. I am still writing this with so much shock because I gave clear instructions to my legal team, with a standing order that understand the circumstances that Paul be included in the petition. Their focus was to remain solely on the primary suspect, Jude Okoye, and his wife, Ifeoma Okoye, since they were directors of the secret company, Northside Music. Paul's recent interview about the EFCC indicates certain a lot of lies. So pretty much it discredits the brother's lies there. Say he did not sue the brother. But pretty much what it boils down to is this, and which he states in this closing thing. So a closer look at Jude's account statement revealed that once the money entered his personal account, there were multiple transactions where a splitting of funds equally between Paul without Peter. This naturally led to some questions. After Jude confessed the diverting of funds, he also told the EFCC that the money he had been sending to Paul on for several years wasn't about sharing money behind Peter's back. Instead, it was money he had owed Peter. He had owed Paul for the sale of their house in America, which he was gradually paying back the loan. This is the reason why Paul has been telling everyone that EFCC has cleared him, as if I ever wanted him to get into trouble with the EFCC, he says. The story is very long, but I will tell it all in due time. For now, I will stop here until the EFCC sends me the final report and my legal team, final report to my legal team. Once that happens, before heading to the law court, I will make the exact petition that doesn't include Paul's name public. I will also release the EFCC final report, receipts, and any other documents related to the secret company, including the CAC registration, bank transactions, and bank statements of Judy's setup with his wife, Ifeoma Okoye. May God help us all, Peter Okoye. So that's what's going on. And that's Jude and his wife there that Peter is referring to. So that's where things stand right now. Peter says he's going to review everything before he goes to court, and he wants his money. So that's what's going on in the Peace Lawyer household.